Working remotely completely changed my life. Now I have time, energy, and freedom to enjoy the things I love. That's why I created a free training showing the exact steps I use to attract remote opportunities. Check the link below and get free access right now. Once we create the order and we are able to get the order from our database and see the value and see the status, we can pay for this order, right? We can implement now a function that pays this order. So that's why we are moving to our payment module. So the first thing that our function pay must be able to do is really making a payment. How do we usually make a payment in real life? You probably have already heard about PayPal or Stripe. There are many ones. These two are two of the most popular ones. They have bank integrations, they have government authorizations to process payments. And they usually provide something that we call APIs. In the future, you are going to understand what is an API. You're going to understand how to consume APIs, how to integrate with APIs, even how to build APIs. But for now, you just need to know that an API is like a module that have functions, but the difference is this module is online and is available for some people that have the credentials to call these functions through the internet. The same way that you import a module and call the function directly in our application, you can use the HTTP protocol to make a request in this online module that have some function. So basically what we will do in our function was making a HTTP request to a payment API. We cannot do this now because, as I told you before, these APIs require credentials, authentication, access key, secret key. Anyway, there are many ways to consume these APIs. You're going to understand in the future. But now we can simulate an HTTP request using a test API, because the HTTP request protocol is pretty much the same for any API that you're going to request through the internet. And the most important thing is you knowing that Python has a built-in module that allows you to make these HTTP requests. And this module is HTTP. But as I told you before, we have some particularities here, and you need to import as http.client, right? This module has this submodule, and this is the right way to import. So now using this module, you can use the functions that allow you to integrate with an API. So to do that, you're gonna type con receives http.client.https connection. Pretty much the same way we did with the database, but now with an HTTP connection. And we're gonna pass as a parameter the public domain of the application that we are trying to establish a connection using the HTTP protocol. It will be paypal.com or stripe.com, but in this case, as we are using a fake API, we are gonna use an URL that is called http://bin.org. You can make your HTTP requests in this URL right here, and it is going to return the HTTP status that an official API would return. Okay, so you can simulate HTTP requests. Let's implement the request. So con.request post f/post ? total amount. So this is the HTTP method, this is the function, and this is the parameter. Okay, it's not exactly a function because this is an API, so this is called method or endpoint, but don't worry, you're going to understand this better in the future. And now we can see that the function pay needs to have the total amount that is going to be paid before calling the external API, right? So instead of receiving payment method, let's receive here the total amount. So let's simulate the response of this API. Con.get response. So the response of the HTTP APIs usually are some codes, and this code right here represents that your request was processed successfully. So we can simulate that if the response dot status is equals to 200, we are going to assume that this represents that our payment has been processed successfully. If our payment has been processed successfully, we can do some things. The first thing is put this payment status here, because it is going to receive processed based on this. So if the response is 200, payment status receives processed. And the other thing that we should do is update the status of our order, right? Because we have created this order and the status is created. But now we have made an HTTP call into a payment provider that processed this payment and returned for us that our payment was processed. So now we need to update this status from created to processed. So here we are also going to import our SQLite 3 built-in module, and we are also going to connect with our database, create the cursor, and execute a query. Alright, but in this case the query is not gonna be the create table operation. In this case, this query is going to be the update, and not only update, but update this specific order, right? Update the specific order that has been paid, right? That's why our pay function expects the order ID as a parameter, because after the payment it is going to update the status of this specific order. But before I implement this query, let's just make things more interesting. Let's create other orders just for us to check if the right order is going to be updated. Okay, so create order. So let's create an order with 100. Let's create another order with 200. If I get orders right now, I'm gonna see that we have 3 orders. Alright, each one with a unique ID and with one value, one total amount, and all of them with the status created. Okay, now I can implement the query that is going to update this status based on the order ID. Update orders set status equals question mark where ID equals question mark, and let's pass the tuple that is going to replace these question marks in the exact order. So the status is going to receive payment status, and the ID is going to receive the order ID, like this. So the status is going to be updated with the payment status that we are going to assign here, where the order ID is equals the order ID that we have passed as a parameter in the moment that we call the function pay. But what if the status is not 200? Let's put an else here. In this case, we need to do the same thing, but with the status failed, not processed. So I could duplicate this code right here and change only the payment status, or I could be smarter and only using the if and the else blocks to map the payment status like this. And outside of the if else, I could run the operation in my database. Okay, this way looks cleaner, of course, in this case with the status failed. So instead of repeating these lines of code here and here, I could just put these lines of code outside of the if else block, and if the status is 200, payment status receives processed, else failed. And in this case, I just update with the status no matter what it is. Alright, but before we finish this function right here, let's return something. So before we run, let's get rid for now of this send email function to get things cleaner, and let's just run the function pay to see what happens. So let's go to the main.py, our orchestrator. Let's import the payment module, and let's call the function pay, passing the parameter that it needs. So we have here these 3 orders. Let's pay this order right here. I'm gonna copy the ID, pass here as a parameter, and also pass the total amount. To be honest, this is not as good as it should be, because I'm passing the order ID and also passing the total amount of this order. The function that is receiving my order ID could use the order ID to get the total amount. But anyway, just for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna pass the both values. We are going to pay, and then right after we are going to get the orders to see if the status has changed. Okay, let me print this and let's run main.py. I guess we have some problem here. Let's see what's happening. So pay order ID, total amount. All right, total amount, get response, processed, failed. Let's go to reconnect purchase database, cursor. I forgot to commit. So con.commit and con.close. All right. So it didn't do anything because I forgot to comment. And now let's run the main.py again. We can see here that now the exact order is with another status. So we just updated the status of the order based on the response of the API that we called to process our payment. That's how powerful learning how to use the built-in modules can get you. Working remotely completely changed my life. Now I have time, energy, and freedom to enjoy the things I love. That's why I created a free training showing the exact steps I use to attract remote opportunities. Check the link below and get free access right now.